Welcome. Welcome to an episode of Fourth and Wine. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, baby, welcome to the party. Hello, this is Fourth and Wine, and my name is Sasha. And here we are going to talk all things Eagles football, and we pair it with wine, give you some recommendations. But the goal here is to keep things real, relatable, and refreshing. We're here to be honest. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on our Eagles team. I'm going to keep it real from the perspective of a fan, from the perspective of a woman. And I'm just always going to bring that. I'm always going to bring that to you. Always going to keep it honest. But today we are going to talk about week 3 against the Rams at home. And we're going to be pairing it with a Malbec. So keep listening. You are checking out Fourth and Wine. Cool. So, as always, y'all know I start off with the wine. So, we are going to be trying this Malbec wine, Tesoro wine. I picked it up from the local wine and spirit store. I believe it was on sale. Less than $15. If you know me, I'm going to try something, save $1 or two. But this Malbec wine is from Argentina. Like many Malbecs are. The bottle is very simple. It's just a picture of a vineyard on the front. But these grapes were harvested in 2021. This red wine was aged in oak barrels for 14 months. And if you don't know, oak barrels made of oak wood from an oak tree. But you can age wine in stainless steel barrels, or you can age wine in oak. Aging wine in oak is typically done, it can be done with any type of wine, but it is typically done with red wines. And it gives it a little extra flavor, a little extra, little extra something. It typically makes the wine have notes of vanilla. It gives it like a tobacco smell, gives it something a little spicy, a little peppery. So with this one in particular, it reminded me of the game so much, which is why I picked a Malbec. Y'all probably like, dang girl, why you doing this deep dark red? Don't nobody want to try that. One, don't knock it till you try it. It's good. Give it a chance. Pair it with something. But also, it reminded me of this game so much because Malbecs, like the bottle says, and they typically are layered wines. They start off, they have strong tannins, but then the fruitiness kind of comes out and you get some of that fruit, some of that chocolate flavor. And especially with this one, it smells tobacco-y, peppery, vanilla. I could definitely smell the vanilla. But you taste it. Very high in tannins. The tannins come from the skin of a grape, and it kind of makes your mouth feel like you just ate a grape skin. But then you let it sit for a little bit. Then you could taste the fruit. You could taste the cherry. Maybe a little plum. But might taste a little pepper. Maybe a little, yeah, I'll probably taste a little plum too. But the Malbec wine reminded me of the game. Started off rugged and then had a smooth finish. So the Eagles ended up beating the Rams 33-26. And I'm going to start off and say kudos. Kudos to the coaching staff calling timeout strategically. There was one timeout where I was a little confused why we do that. Rams had one timeout left. Should have let them call their timeout, but the Eagles called the timeout first. Whatever. I don't know what that was about. But that's for Nick Sirianni to explain later. We won a game. So, going for the 2-point conversion, which was smart. We missed, but smart thinking. Making the adjustments, managing the clock. Defense was on the field a lot in the first half. So when offense finally got rolling, the offense was able to slow the game down and take over on possession time. And it also gave the defense a beat to rest. They needed to rest. If the defense is on the field more than your offense, it's not a game you're probably going to win. And they're going to eventually give up some points. They tired. They got to get off the field. If they get off the field, go out there, go 3 and out or whatever, and then put your offense back on the field and y'all can't get anything rolling. And that's what the first half looked like. We did turn the ball over, but we did some things really well. So I'm going to start and make sure I focus on the things that we did really well. Converted on third down well. So far this season, I believe the Eagles convert on third down over 40% of the time. Let me double check that. Yes, our third down efficiency is 43.9%, which is fantastic. And we did a great job at converting on third down this past week. Also, converting on fourth down. Because we have the tush push in our back pocket, it's kind of like a free down, honestly. Your third down technically is like second down because you can go for it on 4th and 1 as long as you get close enough. And we went 3 for 3 in the red zone. So if you don't know what the red zone is, and I'm talking to people that definitely probably know what the red zone is, but I'm going to explain it anyway. It's when you get very close to the end zone. So you're within about 10 yards of the end zone and you score. We went 3 for 3. So every time we got close enough to the red zone, we scored. And winning those battles can win you a game. Now, there's things that I could talk about that we need to improve on. But first, I really do want to give props to this team because they did that. In the first half, we only scored 7 points. So going into the half, it was 19-7. Coming back, we had a little fumble mishap. And I was ready to pack it up. I don't know about y'all or how y'all were feeling during the first half, but I was ready to pack it up. I said, yo, pack us up. Bring us back week 4. Let's try again. Go back to the drawing board. But we came out after the half and we started cooking. And 2 big plays really got things going. So first, I'm going to call out Dallas Goedert's touchdown. After missing week 2 due to an injury, a knee injury, Dallas Goedert was back, scored a touchdown. That 14 points in the third quarter was the momentum we needed. So first, we started the drive with a short pass to A.J. Brown. I believe it was for 9 yards, short pass to A.J. Brown. We ran the ball twice with Saquon, and they locked Saquon up. They said last year in the snow, Saquon put 200 plus on us. Not this year. Not now. Not again. And they stopped Saquon for sure. They locked him down. But you put all your eggs into that basket to stop Saquon, don't forget we still got A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith. Like, pick your poison then. But we started that drive with a short pass to A.J. Brown, ran the ball with Saquon twice. Some penalties got in the way. But then the big one was the 33-yard touchdown to Dallas Goedert. Amazing. He was able to find himself open right in the middle. And I was proud of the offensive line coming into the second half because they were able to hold up, allow Jalen to move through his progressions, find Dallas Goedert get open, and make a play. The second touchdown to A.J. Brown. Necessary. It is necessary to have your number one receiver involved. It is necessary to make sure you get your number one receiver and arguably, why can't I talk? The top receiver in the league. One of. You got to get him the ball. That gave us more momentum than ever, and it made it a game because now it's 21-26. Finally made it a game. A.J. Brown has been asked throughout last season, this season, repeatedly, what you think about the passing game, what's going on with the passing game. And he's been, in my opinion, pretty honest and real about it. And his responses have always been, a little politically correct, honestly, but you could still tell that there is some frustration behind it, and rightfully so. He only had 2 targets in the first half. First quarter, and both incomplete. He had one in the first quarter, one in the second. Both incomplete. Short middle passes to A.J. Brown. You've got to get AJ involved. When AJ is involved, our team has an average score of over 27 points per game. 27. When AJ Brown is not in the game, 16.2 points per game. This team is 44-11 with A.J. Brown as a starter. You have got to get him the ball. And this team knows that. And in the second half, they came out and did just that. A.J. Brown, I believe this game had 109 yards. We needed that passing game because we couldn't use the run game. The Rams came in and they shut that down. Also, on the other side of the ball, defense, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter have a week, not a day, have a week. Jalen Carter, pressure, getting loose. Even when he was double teamed, getting loose. Jalen with the block kick, the 37-yard field goal. Blocked. Jordan Davis. Now, this player of the week, Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis with a blocked field goal, which would have given the Rams the win. So Eagles scored. We went for the 2-point conversion, didn't get it. We're up 1. the Rams get into field goal range because Puka was moving it down that field, okay? Giving us something. And Adoree Jackson left the game with an injury. Jacorian Bennett came in, and they were right at Jacorian as soon as he got in. And they moved right down the field, passing the ball. But they got in the field goal range, and it would have given the Rams the win. But Jordan Davis, with the second block of the game, blocked the field goal, bro. He blocked the field goal. Saved us from the 3 points. And then that big man was running. Okay, that big man was running. Picked up the ball and took it and scored a touchdown. Touchdown, Jordan Davis. Big man slimmed down. Lost a couple pounds in the offseason. And I knew when I seen him slim down in camp, I was watching the videos over the summer. I said, my man is slim. Oh, he gonna be a problem. Because last year, it was all about, okay, Jordan Davis, we can rotate him out. He's not playing all of the snaps. He's only got X% of the snaps. And now with some of those defensive player guys, they moved on. Why am I blanking on the names of our D linemen from last year that left? I don't know why. Why am I blanking on them? Yeah, I'm really having like a moment, y'all. What was he? What was he, y'all? I feel like yeah, I'm blanking. But anyway, clearly, I knew I was gonna miss him. Well, like Milton Williams and all them. There we go. They left. Jordan Davis was going to have to step up, honestly. He was going to be playing more of the snaps. So he had to get right. Had to get healthy. And with so many things surrounding Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis drafted in 2022, 13th overall pick in the first round, people were calling him like, man, maybe he's a bust. Like, maybe he isn't who we thought he was. But this year, he's matured, shaped up. And the first 3 games of this season, he has been outstanding. So I'm praying for his health all season long. Keep it up. But big man was running, okay? They said my man was going 18.5 miles per hour. I don't think I can go 18.5 miles per hour. But actually, I'm not an athlete. So let me not compare myself to Jordan Davis. But still, and scored a touchdown. I hope he keeps that ball. Keep it. Put it in your little basement in your room. But let's go back, because the passing game is always a topic of conversation. And second half of the game, it's evident. People always question if Jalen can do it. If he can do it. Y'all haven't seen him do that in 2 Super Bowls? You haven't seen him do that in the game against the Steelers? That man adjusts his game to win the game. But I understand why people feel like there needs to be some more consistency with the passing game. Because it's like, okay, well, they're going to stop Saquon. They are going to put all their eggs in that one basket to shut down the run game. They will. And Jalen, you can't always do it yourself. So if Saquon ain't getting it done, you can't always do it on your own. So we got to use our receivers. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, we got 2 of the best receivers in the league. And then Jahan Dotson being a nice addition to that. Arguably, a top 5, at minimum, top 10 tight end in the league in Dallas Goedert. There's so many key pieces to this team. Let somebody try and stop the run. Okay. I got AJ. I got Devontae. I got Goddard in the middle. You got the passing game. So it's I'm curious to why we don't do it consistently. But I know we can. I know we can. I've seen it done. Y'all have seen it done. And y'all have seen it executed. Now, there's always room for improvement. Always. Getting more creative with the play calling. And it's just weird how the play calling kind of just like switched. They joked earlier that Hugh Douglas was on the radio joking earlier that Hugh Douglas was on the radio joking earlier that the Eagles went out there playing possum. That it was a fluke. It was a joke. And like, I don't know what it was, but something switched. I don't know who started calling the plays in the second half, but they need to keep it up. People claim that maybe it was Jalen. Jalen went, cursed out Kevin Patullo. I don't know. I can't speculate those things, but that's what I think happened. I think Jalen went over there and said, I don't want to do that. Because there were moments I'm like, yo, what is this play calling? We are backed up because the Rams punter, he was pinning us to a wall, okay? We backed up, I think it was third and 13. And they ran the ball with Saquon. What? That hasn't been successful this entire first half. You're not getting 13 yards out of Saquon. I know the first quarter of the game is usually things that you've done in practice, plays that you have picked to go against this team. You kind of like feeling it out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing what type of personnel they put out there. But it didn't seem like we were making any adjustments. So I don't really know what happened. But whatever happened, happened for a good reason. It just wasn't any creativity. The Rams were able to read the play. Receivers weren't getting open. Jalen had some tight windows to try and throw. I'm like, I just couldn't understand. But have you noticed how the Eagles, over the last few seasons or so, have always started their seasons this way? Slow when it comes to the passing game. Shaky. But we've also had high turnover in offensive coordinators. Like, if you're offensive coordinator here with the Eagles, Jalen gonna get you promoted. And to his credit, that is great. But also, it is unfortunate to have such high turnover. With Kevin Patullo, though, however, I don't know if he's going to get a head coach job after this season. Maybe if they, make a Super Bowl and win one, maybe. But maybe he'll be more of a fixed structure for this team, finally. Because Jalen has been through 4 offensive coordinators. Y'all blanking. Goddard went to the Colts. I guess he was with Frank Reich, but he wasn't. I don't know if he was starting yet with him. We had Kellen Moore got promoted, and now we have Kevin Patullo. So yeah, maybe we on our third, fourth. Either way, the high turnover in offensive coordinators, I get sometimes it's noticeable because how this team starts seasons. They figure out ways to win though, however, and that's a testament to the personnel that you have, the team that you have, the quarterback that you have. But how long do we allow the new offensive coordinator to get acclimated? How long should we give him? Your starters don't play in the preseason, so technically, week 1 is your first real give it a go. Is October, y'all think October is fair? By October, he should have it down pat. So essentially, by the time we play the Broncos, we should be ship-shape. I think that's fair. By October, enough time to tap in on some of the defenses, figure it out. I think that's fair. But the passing game got a lot better in the second half. Jalen Hurts threw for 226 yards. A.J. Brown had 109 receiving yards. The passing game is there. It's just not always consistent, which can make you question how good it is. After this game, I feel like the question is like looming, it's swirling in my head. I've been thinking about it. And I asked this at my wine tasting event a few weeks ago. So if you missed it, I'm so sorry. Maybe another one's coming soon. Who knows? But a question I asked at the wine tasting event: do you consider the Eagles to be a dynasty? Do you? Now, the Eagles are 19-1 in their last 20 games. The Eagles have a ton of potential, and this is their window. And I've realized in football there is a winning window, and you need to capitalize on the winning window. Extend it out as long as possible. Always adding pieces, always keeping it up, keeping your coaches, keeping your good players, making sure you plan that. Now, that is a tell of a good organization. But we've got great players in all areas. Got a great organization. Howie, Jeffrey Lurie have been running a decent organization for the last few years. You got a winning head coach and QB combo. They both are aligned when it comes to winning games. You have the best offensive line in the league. You have a great defensive line. You've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years with 1 win. So the potential is there. So are the Eagles considered a dynasty? Now, my viewpoint of a dynasty is that they can get there. I think they are trying to build one. I think Howie is trying to build one. I think Jeffrey Lurie is trying to build one. But dynasty? I wouldn't call this one yet. I would say we could be on the road if we continue down this path. If we continue to have the success that we have been having. There has to be some more consistency, though, however. When I think of dynasties, I'm going to mention some teams y'all ain't going to like, but they have created a dynasty. Kansas City, 3 Super Bowls. Pittsburgh, I think under Terry Bradshaw, they have 5? I don't even know. I know Pittsburgh, I believe, has 5 Super Bowls. Whether or not Terry Bradshaw was there for all of them, that's a different story. But also, Pittsburgh, New England, Tom Brady in New England. You can't argue that. And dare I say it, y'all don't want to hear it, but dare I say it, the Dallas Cowboys back in the 90s. Troy Aikman, 3 Super Bowls. That head coach, quarterback combos there, those are dynasties. I think Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have that potential, but they got to give me at least 2 more Super Bowls in the next few years. Now, this team could make some additional improvements, specifically with special teams. Special teams, man. I don't know what happened this past week, but every single punt return, they fumbled it, dropped the ball, couldn't get it. But you know, kudos that may be kudos to the Rams punter. I don't know. Special teams, though, I think as a whole doesn't get the attention that it deserves, and not just from like a fan perspective, but I feel like even in the league, a week to practice and prepare for a game is such a condensed period of time that special teams is a focus, but it is not the main focus during the bulk of the week. Um, but honestly, going into the next few weeks and the rest of the season, special teams got to be on point. When they say all phases of the game, they mean all phases, including the special teams. All phases have to be on point. Hold on to the ball. Also, your level of effort, and what you do, set your team up for good field position. Stopping the run, also something we wasn't too good with. Kyron Williams was running all over us. We allowed 5.2 yards per carry. Rams ran the ball on us 31 times. They said, "Ooh, this is working. Let's keep doing it." We allowed 160 rushing yards. For a team that's supposedly heavy and only able to run the ball, we allowed another team to run the ball on us. Also, this past week, it was unfortunate to watch Lane Johnson leave the game. He said it was a stinger. I don't know, TBD on that, but his absence definitely was felt and it was definitely missed. Matt Pryor came in for him, and that did not go well. Jalen was sacked. The pressure was real. The Rams blitzed us 17 times. 17. And the whole time I'm watching Matt Pryor play, I'm like, yo, we miss Lane. And I realized that our offensive line is so great at the top. And then when you get to the second level, it falls off dramatically. And Matt Pryor is no Lane Johnson. And I kept saying that whole game, when they gonna put Fred in? Why Fred ain't in? Put Fred in. Mini Mike Fred. Put my guy in. And they finally put Fred in the second half, and he did not disappoint. He produced and protected, okay? At one point, I'm watching Fred run in front of Saquon, blocking in front of him. And I feel like Saquon was like, bro, you in my way, move. But it was so funny because Fred, he was out there. He said, I'm coming to play. I'm earning my check. I am earning this spot. But shout out to Fred. Fred was on our team last year. We won the Super Bowl, and Fred was he left and went to Jacksonville Jaguars. And then Howie traded right back for him and brought Fred back. See how he knew Fred's production and how much we fall off after that top line of our offensive players. And then we talk about this every week. Corner. And Adoree Jackson gets a lot of the attention, and that's fine because he's not playing well. But also Quinyon, the pass interference calls, brother. Yeah. I mean, keep with him. But he be getting away with it. And he's been doing it since last season. So he gets away with it. But that CB2 spot, we missing that team from last year. Obviously, Darius Slay was going to leave. He was getting older, wanted to get paid, and they didn't want to do it. He knew he was going to be out, and that's okay. But then you let Isaiah Rodgers go too. And it just was funny because you let Isaiah go. You didn't sign him again. You sent him off to the Vikings. And Isaiah Rodgers had a day yesterday. My man scored 2 touchdowns. The cornerback scored 2 touchdowns. That's the type of production we need in our secondary. We are missing that difference maker. Love Quinyon, but Quinyon cannot catch. He has been in many situations, and I'm sure he knows he don't catch the ball. That's why they corners. That's why they corners. Receivers who can't catch. AKA cornerbacks. But lately, I feel like in the NFL, it's been a lot of penalties. Quinyon got called for a few. It's just the pass interference calls mainly, but a lot of penalties. And some are, warranted, needed. But I think there's a lot of penalties on both sides. One, somebody got to get Jalen Carter under control. I don't know what he was gesturing across to the Rams. But we flag, boom, out, boom. Jalen, just relax, baby. Just calm. Love the passion, though. Love the passion. If y'all ain't see Jalen Carter after the game, he had on Jared versus Shane. He had on the 8. That man is a true menace. He is a menace. But the penalties, the refs are just like, I don't know, or it's just the league rules, honestly. Penalties, they said they are going to focus in on the tush push. So now they're going to be calling a ton of penalties for the false starts on the tush push, calling a bunch of offsides. And this, granted, call the offsides on the tush push. I don't care. Works in our favor. But they will be watching it very closely. Call the offsides. Call the neutral zone infractions. They're supposedly focusing in on this more. I don't think it's a hard play to officiate. So, like, that being the it ain't that hard. And I say it like I'm a ref, but like, look at the play. Look at the players. Anytime 2 players line up, you could tell when somebody moving. They miss things like that on regular plays. So don't give me it's hard to officiate thing. I just don't think anyone wants to officiate it. It's just probably just like, I don't feel like it. They're going to get it. Give it to them. Like, the balls got chips in them. You can spot the ball, so that can't be a problem. All this AWS technology, AI, and all this other stuff, We using it everywhere. Y'all can manage it. Y'all can pull that data. If y'all need help pulling the data, let me know. That's my thing. I enjoy doing that. With the tush push, the other thing was injuries. Oh, people could get injured, yada, yada, yada. And there was no true data to support that until supposedly, Lane Johnson's stinger, his neck issue, happened on the tush push play. Now, I heard Lane said that. I don't know. But the penalties are endless. The taunting penalties, even like Puka doing the muscles, getting a taunting penalty, like that, unsportsmanlike for the muscle pose. It worked out in our favor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, but it's just sometimes it's a little overkill. Like, come on, just let it go. Let the guys have a good time. They come out here, they play, they put their bodies, their lives technically on the line just so we could watch a game. A game. Like, we ain't talking about anything it's football. It's entertainment. They're not out here playing superhero. It's for our entertainment. Let them enjoy it. Let them entertain. But the league recently posted all their fines and penalties. Saquon got fined for lowering his helmet, $46K, and maybe that's necessary to make sure we keep players safe. But just like, here we go. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, Dallas Cowboys wide receivers, they were fined $14K for a TD celebration. And honestly, I don't know what the TD celebration was. I don't know if they were shooting, chopping off the heads. I couldn't tell. So if I can't tell, how the kids know? They know something I don't. Travis Kelce got fined for the big cojones. I joked during the game. Why they don't give him a flag for that? Oh, he got fined. Derwin James of the Chargers, safety for the Chargers. He did an improper tackle. I guess, they're trying to keep the guy safe. And I get it. I 100% agree with keeping them safe. Sometimes, I don't know. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's a penalty? Unsportsmanlike? The gestures get me and the celebrations get me. Maybe if you want to police how people tackle, what they do if they injure someone, I get that. But like fining me because I do a bow and arrow celebration. Either way, my point is, I think it feels excessive. I don't know if the media is just covering it more, but to me, it's excessive. But next week, we got to face Tampa Bay. Going to be facing Baker and that Buccaneers defense with their head coach, who is very defensive mind. We made adjustments this week. But do y'all think we can do it consistently? We will need to against this Buccaneers team. Because let me tell y'all something. In our last 7 matchups, so over the last 10 years, the Eagles have won. The Eagles have won once. And that was in 2023. Y'all remember that year, don't y'all? Y'all remember that season, don't y'all? Against Baker, in 3 games, we have had 2 losses. Baker's mobile. Baker can get out the pocket. Baker can throw it. Baker on my fantasy team now. So he's been cooking for me. So like low key, I'm like, I hope you do well, but not too good. Like how do you balance those feelings? You like, I want to win in fantasy, but I love my team. And honestly, I'll lose in fantasy every single week if it meant my team goes to the Super Bowl. Forget fantasy. Forget Baker. He can have a horrible game. I don't care. But I kind of want him to have an okay game. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be okay, just enough, just a little bit. But he been cooking. He been cooking for me. Shout out to Baker. Glad I picked him up. But your defense has got to figure out a way to stop Baker. You got to make Baker throw it because right now he doesn't have any receivers, or he doesn't have his top ones. Chris Godwin, he's out. Mike Evans, he's out. Like Adore Jackson, I hope you can handle Sterling Shepard. I hope. Tej Johnson. I hope. Honestly, Sterling Shepard being on this depth chart, I was shocked. I thought Sterling Shepard retired. I thought he was retired. Oh my God, I thought he was retired. But the Bucs are good on third down conversions. Good on the season. And they good at defending third down too, compared to their opponents. So we've been good at converting on third down, but we got to make sure we keep that up. Keep it consistent. Lock it down, tighten up. And pressure on Baker will be more important than ever. Nolan, Jalix, come on. I've seen the flashes. Y'all got it. I know y'all got it. What's going on? Y'all got the interior. Y'all got Jalen and Jordan putting in the work. What's going on? What's going on the ends? Maybe Zadarius can bring us a little something. Shout out to Cash Doll. Shout out to Mr. Doll. But we really gonna have to play up the edge because I feel like we can blitz at Baker, but I just think he's gonna easily escape, run out the pocket, gain a few yards because he's going to see avoiding coverage because everybody going to blitz. They miss their target or whatever have you. And Baker gets out, escapes, and picks up a few yards. So we really going to have an answer for Baker because he can use his legs and his arm. But we just going to have to hope that those wide receivers, they not in position. They can't catch. But I think we could beat them. We can go 4-0. We just got to stay hot, stay fast, stay consistent. And I'm going to close out with this one last final thought, just to kind of bring it all to an end. Eagles really fought their way back in week 3. And if there was any doubt that this team knows how to win, that should be wiped from everyone's wiped. This team knows how to win. It's a great testament of how good they are together. The game was never over for them. It might have been over for us. We might have been sitting at home thinking it was over, but it was never over for them. They played off each other's energy. When offense finally got going, defense said, bet. You gave us a minute. You gave us some time. And that is a well-rounded team. But that's time. Grab yourself a glass of Malbec, pair it up with a nice little barbecue, little red meat, mushrooms, do your thing. But excited for next Sunday. We heading to Tampa, playing the Bucs. Be on the lookout for Sasha's Quick Slants. And until next time, people, peace.